So what happens when you take two of Marvel's most unkillable mutants and drop them right into the hunting grounds of the galaxy's most lethal hunters? Well, you get a hunt that completely breaks all the rules, a body count that just won't stick, and a whole lot of chaos. Okay, let's get into this absolutely wild cosmic crossover.
And it all kicks off, as these things so often do, with one of Deadpool's, let's call them brilliant ideas. He borrows a highly unstable dimensional teleporter, Wolverine tries to stop him, and boom, with the press of a single button, reality just tears open and yanks them both into a universe they were never ever supposed to see.
Alright, so Section 1, Crash Landing in Hell. And believe me, the trip is anything but smooth. This janky device doesn't just teleport them, it spits them out with extreme prejudice, carving a massive, smoking crater into the surface of some unknown alien world. Now, for you or me, an impact like that's the end of the story. But for these two, it's just another Tuesday. Logan's healing factor is already knitting together shattered ribs. Wade's arm is bent at an angle it should never be bent, but it's already snapping back into place before you can even crack a joke about it.
But before they can even get their bearings, Wolverine's senses just go into overdrive. He can smell it, he can feel it in the air, that quiet, predatory stillness. They are absolutely not alone. They're being washed, surrounded by cloaked figures who have just found the most interesting and most confusing prey of their entire lives. So that brings us to Section 2, the unkillable prey. The hunt begins immediately. Plasma bolts start flying, blades are clashing, but from the perspective of the hunters, this warrior race we know as the Yaucha, something is very, very wrong. Their targets are just refusing to follow the basic rules of life and death. And the scale of this problem for them is just staggering. In just the first few hours of the hunt, the Yaucha score at least 14 fatal hits. We're talking decapitations, plasma shots straight through the skull, being literally cut in half, and yet the prey just gets back up. For these hunters, this isn't a sport anymore. It's a logical paradox. This is the exact moment the Yaucha realize they're not dealing with biology as they know it. Their tactical readouts can't process it, so their culture has to step in and recontextualize it. These aren't just difficult prey. They're seen as blasphemous beings, cursed abominations that mock the very concept of a clean kill. And this leads to this really fascinating shift in their whole strategy. The leader of the hunt, Elder Darkash, makes a crucial call. If you can't kill it, you have to study it. The mission changes on a dime, from collecting trophies to capturing live specimens. They need to understand the source of this impossible regeneration. The goal is no longer to kill, but to disassemble. So the tactics evolve, right? Smart discs are now aimed at elbows and knees. Plasma shots are blowing off limbs, not targeting the chest. They start using their advanced tech, like gravity wells and molecular nets, all designed to just take the mutants apart piece by piece. It's brutal, it's intelligent, and you know what? It works. They're captured. And this leads them right into Section 3, from lab rats to rebels. Logan and Wade are taken to a Yaucha science facility on some remote moon. This is basically the Area 51 for the galaxy's most dangerous creatures. And for our heroes, it's an absolute nightmare scenario. So how do you dissect something that heals faster than you can cut? Well, the Yaucha have a nasty little piece of tech for that, a temporal distortion field. This thing doesn't stop their healing factors, but it slows them down to a crawl by a factor of 1,000. It lets the scientists cut and probe them in super slow motion. The stakes have never been higher, but they made one huge mistake. They totally underestimated Deadpool's capacity for grotesque problem solving. While his body is busy regenerating, Wade manages to dislocate every single one of his joints, which allows him to literally ooze right out of his restraints. It's disgusting, it's brilliant, and it is the spark that ignites their escape. Once he's free, Wade doesn't just fight, he weaponizes his personality. He grabs a fallen hunter's biomask, hacks into the moonbase's entire comms network, and begins broadcasting a series of new, facility-wide policies. And his first announcement is just a simple matter of etiquette. Stop trying to dissect us. It's rude.
His second policy is a little more direct, basically laying out their entire escape plan with an audacity only Deadpool could pull off. Give us a spaceship so we can go home.
And finally, he completely derails the disciplined, honor-bound warrior culture of the Yaucha with a simple yet profound question about tacos. With these three announcements, he throws the entire high-tech facility into absolute chaos and confusion. What follows is just one of the most chaotic breakouts you can possibly imagine. They fight their way through hundreds of warriors, steal the fanciest chip they can find, which just so happens to be Elder Darkish's personal vessel, and then they basically just mash buttons until the thing takes off. They punch in Earth's coordinates, make the jump, and yep, crash land back home.
Which brings us to our final section, a mutually assured annoyance. Because, you see, escaping was the easy part. They didn't just steal a ship. They stole a high-ranking elder's honor, and a Yaucha never lets a slight like that go unanswered. This whole thing is about to escalate from a hunt to an all-out war on Earth.
Darkish tracks them all the way back to Earth, but he doesn't come alone. Oh no, he arrives with an entire invasion fleet. This is no longer about scientific curiosity. This is about pride. This is a mission to reclaim what was stolen and punish the prey that dared to fight back. And just to really drive home the point, let's look at the odds here. They are beyond impossible. It's two battered, exhausted, but still unkillable mutants against 300 of the deadliest hunters in the galaxy on their home turf.
And what's Wolverine's grand strategy in the face of this overwhelming force? It's pure, unfiltered berserker simplicity. No tactics, no stealth, just a head-on charge right into the heart of the enemy. It's not a plan, it's carnage. But for Wolverine, that's what he does best.
The final confrontation is swift and unbelievably brutal. The Yaucha firebomb the Canadian wilderness just to flush them out. The battle begins, and the mutants are torn apart, regenerating and fighting back endlessly. But after an hour of this unwinnable slaughter, Darkash realizes something. He might win, but the cost will be astronomical. This isn't a hunt, it's a meat grinder for both sides.
And so, a truce is offered. Not a surrender, but a pact born of mutual exhaustion and sheer frustration. It's called a blood oath, a biological covenant. Logan and Wade have to keep the Yaucha's existence a secret, and in return, the hunters will leave Earth and never come back. The penalty for breaking that oath? The complete annihilation of the planet.
So the Yaucha depart, and in their sacred archives they make a little change. Earth is no longer listed as a potential hunting ground. It is officially reclassified as a caution zone, its inhabitants flagged as anomalous regenerators to be avoided at all costs. Wolverine and Deadpool didn't just survive, they got their entire planet blacklisted.
And so, this entire chaotic adventure leaves us with one central question. In a universe of hunters and prey, what truly defines the top of the food chain? Is it the power to take any life you want? Or is it the sheer, stubborn refusal to ever let your own life be taken?